Ethan Walker was a man of logic, reason, and science. As a renowned medical researcher, his life revolved around finding solutions to complex health issues. But there was one problem he had never been able to solve: his own chronic pain. For years, he had been battling a condition that caused excruciating pain in his joints, making even the simplest of tasks seem impossible. It wasn't just physical pain, though. It was the emotional toll that came with it. His once promising career had stagnated, and his social life had crumbled, leaving him alone in his pursuit of a cure. Ethan had tried every medication available: painkillers, anti-inflammatory drugs, steroids, but none of them provided lasting relief. He would take a dose, feel better for a few hours, and then the pain would return with even greater intensity. He was tired. Tired of the pills, tired of the doctor's visits, and tired of living in constant discomfort. But Ethan wasn't one to give up easily. His scientific mind kept pushing him to find a better way, even if it meant seeking something beyond traditional medicine. One day, while researching new pain management therapies, Ethan came across an article about an ancient herbal remedy known only as the last dose. According to the article, this rare herb, once used by indigenous tribes in the mountains, had miraculous pain-relieving properties. It was said to work better than any modern-day painkiller, but it came with a warning. The last dose was incredibly powerful, and its effects were unpredictable. Once taken, its power could either heal or destroy. There were no recorded survivors who had taken the herb more than once, but those who had tried it spoke of a blissful, otherworldly relief, one that could last for years. Ethan's curiosity got the best of him. He had tried everything else, and the possibility of finding lasting relief was too tempting to ignore. He decided to find this elusive herb, even if it meant traveling to the most remote corners of the earth. After months of research and planning, Ethan embarked on a dangerous journey to the mountains where the last dose was rumored to grow. He faced treacherous weather, wild animals, and hostile terrain, but his determination kept him going. Finally, after weeks of struggle, he found what he was looking for: a small, unassuming plant growing at the edge of a cliff, bathed in the soft light of the setting sun. The plant's leaves shimmered with an ethereal glow, and its fragrance was unlike anything Ethan had ever experienced. Ethan carefully harvested the leaves, his heart racing with anticipation. He returned to his lab, prepared a tincture, and swallowed the mixture. At first, nothing happened. But then, a wave of warmth spread through his body. The pain that had consumed him for years began to fade, replaced by a sensation of pure comfort. His joints loosened, his muscles relaxed, and for the first time in ages, he felt free from the burden of pain. Days passed, and Ethan continued to feel better. His mind cleared, his energy returned, and he even found himself smiling for the first time in years. The pain was gone, and with it, the darkness that had overshadowed his life. He began to dream again, to imagine a future where he could do what he loved without the constant struggle of his condition. He could finally see the world, travel, and build relationships. The last dose had worked. But as time went on, Ethan began to notice subtle changes. His thoughts started to feel a little too clear, too sharp. He became obsessed with his work, spending days and nights in the lab, neglecting his health and losing track of time. The relief from pain had come at a price. The herb's effects weren't just physical, they were psychological as well. Ethan found himself slipping into a state of manic euphoria, where the world around him felt like a blur. He could think faster than ever before, but it was no longer a gift, it was a curse. The boundaries between reality and his own thoughts began to dissolve. One evening, as Ethan stood before a mirror, looking at his reflection, he realized the terrifying truth. The last dose had given him what he wanted, but it was slowly consuming him. The pain was gone, but so was everything else. His career, once full of promise, had lost its meaning. His relationships, once close, had faded into the background. He was addicted to the feeling of relief, but that relief was turning into something darker. In a moment of clarity, Ethan decided that he needed to stop. But when he reached for the remaining tincture, something inside him hesitated. He had come so far, and the thought of feeling pain again terrified him. Yet, he knew that the true cost of the last dose wasn't just the physical pain, it was the cost of losing himself. Ethan took a deep breath, poured the remaining tincture down the drain, and made a vow to find a way back to normalcy. He knew the path ahead would be difficult, but he was determined to face it. It wasn't the pain that had defined his life, it was his will to overcome it. Years later, Ethan wrote a book, not about his scientific research or discoveries, but about the lesson he had learned from the last dose. It became a bestseller, inspiring others to seek balance and self-control. He shared his story, warning others about the dangers of seeking quick fixes without understanding the consequences. In the end, Ethan found peace, not in the painkiller, but in the understanding that true healing came from within, through patience, perseverance, and the courage to confront both the pain and the darkness. Sometimes, the quick fixes we seek to ease our pain come with hidden costs. True healing requires us to face our challenges head-on, without relying on something that might offer temporary relief but lead to long-term consequences. The last dose teaches us that we must be careful what we wish for it may come with a price we're not ready to pay.